Hello, and you're welcome. I want to talk about something. I want us to discuss what we have on the board. The word this, is it a pronoun or an adjective? Now, I raised this because somebody asked this question in my inbox. If the word this is a pronoun or an adjective. And I came to realize that there are other words like this that confuse. There are words like this that belong to the pronoun and they belong to the adjectives. So this can be a pronoun, it can be an adjective. The question is how? How would you know where it belongs to? Now, this, that, this, and those. These words you see here belong to demonstrative adjectives and they belong to demonstrative pronouns. Now, how do you know where it belongs at a particular time? You first ask yourself, what is an adjective? You talk about an adjective when you are referring to words that qualify, words that describe. Am I right? You talk about adjective when you're talking about a word that qualifies another word, that tells you something about another word. Okay, now that situation where you have something like beautiful dressing. This word here, beautiful, is an adjective. Now take note, whenever you have an adjective, it is expected that whatever is the noun that that adjective is qualifying should be beside it. Just like what you have here, beautiful dressing. The adjective should have its noun beside it. That time when you say a fat man, you cannot just say a fat came here. No, a fat man. That fat is an adjective talking about the man. Therefore, the both of them should be there. The man should be close to the adjective that is qualifying it. All right, that is the same way that when you talk about these words, each time that you have something like this house, that book. Now, there should be others here. Maybe this house is ours. That book belongs to whatever you want to say there. Whenever you have a noun, that word, this, that, those, and these, whenever you have a noun beside it, that it is connected to, then that word is functioning as an adjective. This house, it is an adjective. How do you know when it functions as a pronoun? If you want to talk about it as a pronoun, then it should have no noun beside it. You can have something like this is my house. In a situation like this is demonstrative. It is pointing at something. But then there is something that it replaces. What is a pronoun? A pronoun is a word that substitutes a noun, right? Now, there is a word that is supposed to be here. As at the time that you are pointing, there is something you are pointing at. That thing you are pointing at has been replaced with this. You did not mention it. This is my house. Am I communicating? Now, the only adjective here is this because the house is close to it. But take note that this word house is what this word this is also replacing. It is supposed to be this house is mine. If there had been house here, this would have become an adjective. But because there isn't, it becomes a pronoun. The same thing happens when you have something like that is what I bought. In a situation like this, that there is something that you are pointing at. You didn't mention it. This word that has replaced that name. A pronoun replaces a noun, and a noun is a name. Now, the name that is supposed to be here has been replaced by this word. It does not qualify anything. It is just used to point at that name proper. It is just used to replace that name proper. Therefore, what you have here is a pronoun. Now, it doesn't end here. There are others that confuse. These ones are the demonstrative pronouns and adjectives. There are others that confuse. There are situations where you have my, dear, are. And some persons will ask you, do these belong to pronouns or adjective? Everything you see here is an adjective. Because when you say my, there should be something. My book, my house, and the rest of them. Dear, whatever, and our. Whenever you have any of these, it is an adjective. When you want to talk about it as a pronoun, this will become mine. This will become theirs, and this will become ours. You cannot use my without presenting a noun that it qualifies, but you can use mine and it will have nothing beside it. Somebody can just say, mine is more beautiful than yours. That word, mine, there is something you're talking about. Mine is more beautiful than yours. There is something that mine is replacing. You didn't mention it, meaning that it has been replaced. Therefore, it is a pronoun. These are what you refer here. What you have here are possessive adjectives, and what you have here are possessive pronouns. It doesn't end there. You have something like wish. You have something like whose. In some cases, these words function as pronouns. In some cases, they function as adjectives. The same thing I explained in the first one. Whenever you have a noun beside it, it is an adjective. If there is no noun beside it, like it replaces a name totally, and there is no noun beside it, that is when it becomes a pronoun. Wish is your own here. This wish here is a pronoun. But when it says which pen is your own, in this situation, there is a noun here that this is qualifying. Therefore, this becomes an adjective. I believe it is clear. Talking about the interactive class that we had yesterday, somebody said that somebody asked me how it went. Okay, talking about that, because I know there are people who would want to know what later happened. The class held. Yes, the class held, and people joined. The only little challenge we have is that I use a mobile device and it wouldn't allow everybody to appear at the same time. It is one person at a time. I believe it is because it is a mobile device. Maybe when we get a bigger device, we will accommodate more than what we accommodated yesterday. It is my desire to do this every Saturday for free. So with time, we are going to settle that and the lesson will continue. Thanks so much.